Hey everyone, News 20 back with the 2024 media thread. This time, March. Alright, this is gonna be a fun one to start with. I looked ahead, there's not a lot in March, but oh man, this might cause a problem, we'll see. So, first off, Oban Star Racers finished watching on March 8th. I recommend this show. Like, just I do. Man, I don't know how else to say it. This is weird. So this is honestly strange. So Oban Star Racers aired on Jetix back in 15 years ago. Thank you, past me. 15 years ago. And at the time when it aired, I had a curfew, believe it or not. Generally when you're younger, you have one of those. And I couldn't, like, staying up to watch an episode was really tricky. I still did it because, of course, another thing you do when you have a curfew is you ignore it. So I would always try to catch episodes, and I would miss some, but I would keep watching. And I remember that I stood up well past my curfew to catch the ending. So I remembered how the show ended. I've always known, and for some reason, despite the fact that I've only ever seen the show once, and, like, not even in totality, 15 years ago, this damn thing has stood in my brain ever since. I still, even before watching the show, vividly recall specific moments from it. Like, I don't remember the character names, and I don't remember, like, the overall plot, like, the actual plot details. But there was just something about it that stuck with me. And I don't think I'll ever know why. For instance, one of the guys on the cover, let's see where he is, so I can put my finger on it. Here he is. He's a Korg, one of the evil aliens. You can see him in the... where's the camera? There he is, with, like, the one glowing eyeball. He rides in a ship called a Korg Trident, I believe it is. And it's got a lot, like a ball, which is where they sit in. It's like their cockpit. And it's got these two blades sticking out of the sides of it, and one on the bottom. So it's like a three-pronged thing. And it, like, spins. It's like that part is constantly spinning around the center ball. And it's such a cool... Like, one of the coolest things about Oban is the ship designs, because it's all about racing. It's a racing anime with all these people competing to win, like, the ultimate prize. And all the ships are really fucking cool to look at. Like, they got some really cool ship designs and alien designs all over the show. And the Korg Trident has stood in my brain, like, perfectly ever since I first watched the show 15 years ago. And I've always remembered what it looked like, and I've always thought it was a really cool design. Just always. The other one being the weird alien in one of the episodes who's, like, flat. He's, like, pretty two-dimensional, and his ship that he rides on is also incredibly flat. There's just a lot of stuff about it, and I chose to watch it in English simply because when I had seen it 15 years ago, it was in English. And, I mean, well, obviously. And part of me kind of wanted to see what the original Japanese... Well, I don't know if you could call it the original Japanese. I don't think it was actually in a Japanese production. I think it was French. But I chose to watch, like, the anime just because it was what I remember the most. And I gotta say, there were some scenes that really stood out for the voice actors that they did very well in. Especially towards the end of the series. 26 episodes. It's absolutely... It's fantastic. The plot. I should probably just give the plot. 5 discs. This was... I actually haven't even finished this yet, actually. I mean, I did finish the show, but the last disc has a bunch of special features on it, and I've always wanted to look at those, and I haven't. Probably should. Have it in my hands. Let me just read the back of the box here. It just says, determined to be reunited with her father, race manager Don Wei, who sent her off to boarding school 10 years ago, young Eva joins his famous Star Racer team under the alias Molly. Before she knows it, she is setting off for the planet Alwas for the first stage of the Great Race of Oban, a mysterious and mythical intergalactic competition. The fate of Molly, as well as the future of the human race, are now inextricably intertwined. Yeah, it's good. It's fantastic. It's good. It's amazing. It's fantastic. It's amazing. I love it. I'd watch it all again. Like, yeah, they had a whole thing. They ran, I don't know, a Kickstarter's exact thing to call it, I think the website was actually Pledgebox. But yeah, like the website still runs. I was still able to place an order for the Blu-ray. At the time, they had a few different versions, including like one with even more physical material. But I didn't want to jump that far simply because I didn't know. Like I didn't want to get too much. And it didn't matter anyway, because a few days later when I finally did buy it, and I was tracking it to make sure it was getting here, and I was doing some issues with the OST, all the stuff was gone. I think the only thing they have available is just the Blu-ray now. I would still recommend it though, because it's so good. It's worth it. It's fantastic. I think that's all I've said repeatedly for the last 5 minutes, and I'm sorry. Just I really like it. Like, man, should watch it again. Just if I switch out the language just to see what it sounds like in other dubs. Yeah, it's a collaboration between Japanese and Western artists, so I don't know like what I would classify the original language in. Like if you're gonna watch something like Naruto or Bleach, obviously the original language is Japanese. And if you're gonna watch something like Hey Arnold or SpongeBob, the original language is English. So I don't know what it would count for this one. Regardless, moving on to the next thing on our list. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I have... You know, I'll wait until we're done with talking about the fun stuff before I talk about the not so fun stuff. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is fantastic. Like, oh man, it's good. I finished it on March 15th, and it is amazing. I had about somewhere between 70 and 80 hours when I was fully done with everything that I wanted to do. There were more things I wanted to do, actually, but the more I thought about it, the more I was like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I don't know if I'll go back to this game. Definitely not to platinum it. Like, I love platinum games. I like completing games on Steam, on PlayStation, whatever. I like doing it because it's fun. It makes me feel accomplished. But it really depends on the game, and it really depends on the list. This game and Final Fantasy VII Remake have a really shitty trophy list, and I'm like, I don't have the time. I don't have the desire to do the stupid things that they want me to do in the specific ways that they want me to do them, so I'm not gonna do them. And at first I thought maybe I'm just wussing out. Then I saw Nico B, his Let's Play. His final episode is just him doing the last like few challenges to get the plat, and I saw what he was doing, and I'm like, that doesn't look like fun. So I'm glad I didn't commit to that because I don't want to do it. But completionists aside, the game itself is incredibly fun to play. It's just really good. Like I'll read off what I put there. The world's fun to explore. The combat's a lot of fun. Mini games are silly. The cast they're well performed. I cared about all of them. Their banter, yep. I just love listening to them talk to each other. It's a great game for like 90% of it. I'll get to that in a bit. My issue with it is that I did kind of get tired of the open world aspects of it. I don't like hot take. I'm not a fan of open world games. Generally, I don't like the approach that games take with open world. I know people call it like the Ubisoft checklist or whatever. It's just like, oh, here's a bunch of things on the screen for you to go collect. And Rebirth has that, I'm not gonna lie, but I didn't hate it so much as like it got a lot. Like after I finished doing everything in the grasslands, I was like, I don't think I want to do this again. Like that was fun, but you know, then when I got into the second region and all stuff popped up, it's actually smaller than the first. But it was by the time I got to the third region, and which is Corel, that I decided, yeah, I don't want to do everything. And then when I got to Gongaga, it was like, no. And then after that, I just didn't. Especially because, like, generally people say Gongaga is the hardest region to navigate, and there's a lot of people who aren't a fan of it. I didn't really have an issue with that. There was one thing, and it took me forever to find how to get to the Malboro. I didn't know where that was, how to get there in Gongaga. But beyond that, I didn't think Gongaga was that hard to navigate. Like, nothing really stood out to me. It was Cosmo Canyon. Cosmo Canyon was shit. Cosmo Canyon was ass. I fucking hate Cosmo Canyon. Elevation's bad. It's not good. And I think the issue with that is also comes to the map. Maps in video games have always had a hard time portraying elevation in a good, easy to understand way. Even down to dividing up maps by floors. It's been really inconvenient, and it's never been super clear. I can't think of a map style that was good for that. Like I think about like the Metroid Prime 3D maps that they have, and sometimes I rotate those maps in such a way that I forget what I'm looking at, and I have to close the map and open it again. But yeah, I think that was a big issue for Cosmo Canyon. I think something that would have helped is if because Cosmo Canyon is where you get a gliding chocobo, if the ramps were like more color coded, or if there was something to let you know which one led to what, because that was an issue I had. I ended up having to look. I didn't do this for any other region in the game. For Cosmo Canyon, I had to look up how to get to specific places because I had no idea. I was running around in circles like a maniac. And those kind of drive me nuts. But it was after I beat the game, I went ahead and went back and finished all the additional challenges in Corel and Gongaga and Cosmo. I do think it's funny that after Cosmo you get to Nibelheim, which in my opinion is like the best region in the game. Like it's the smallest one, it's a great size, and the chocobo is the best chocobo in the whole game. So that was actually a really fun region to explore. It's just like it like refreshed me after everything that I had gone through in Cosmo, and that was like so much better. And after that, the game enters the like single aisle after you complete Nibelheim, where it just goes bam 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 all the way to the end, which is fine. I liked it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to play. There's a lot of good stuff about it. The combat's great. I like playing as everybody. A little asterisk on there. And yeah. Oh, Chadley's the worst. He actually sucks. It's really weird seeing so many people defend him, and I'm like, he never shuts up. He's annoying. I hate him so much. It wasn't until I was like 80% done with the game that I realized I could actually skip his dialogue, like fully. And I was like, I wish I had known that at the beginning. Because like literally halfway through Grasslands, I was very sick and tired of hearing of him. And then it just continued for the rest of the game. Just mashing through his dialogue as best I could. It's annoying. He sucks. It's so, like, I was willing to give a lot of leeway in Grasslands, specifically because he would talk to you after you completed any objective for the first time, and I think it's like, oh, he's explaining to you what these are and what they do. You could get that in a text box too, but fine, have Chadley explain it. But that isn't it. He talks to you almost like after every single time you touch any fucking thing. And the really annoying ones is like the live stream fonts. You'll get those, and he'll call you up. You'll be like, you like take the thing out, the thing cloud scans it, puts it away, and then bling, bling, and you gotta take it back out, open it up. Charlie Poppy's like, hey, you scanned a live stream font. Nice. And then he hangs up, and then now you can go. And it's like, that was unnecessary. I'm sure that other people who played the game recognize a few more moments like that, but there's way too many times where he calls you up to say nothing, just to waste your time. It's not even to tell you, oh, we found a new chip, or oh, there's a monster over there. It's literally just, hey, you did the thing that you just did. Cool, bye. Fuck you, Chadley. I think the ending is like the really rough part for me, because I honestly had no idea what the fuck was happening. And I get there's an argument to be made that some people like that the ending is confusing, or they like that it's like a puzzle that they have to figure it out. And I'm just like, I don't want to say that it makes me seem like super dumb or whatever. I don't know what the word is. That just is like, I want it cleanly explained to me. It's not really that. It's just, I think being obtuse for the sake of being obtuse and for the sake of laying down a mystery for people isn't a good excuse. At least that's the way that I see it. And it really feels like the ending just wanted to have its cake and eat it too. I'm like, if you're going to do something with either killing Aerith or not, you should have committed to one or the other. They kind of like want to dabble in both, but also in neither. And I just think that it should have been a bit more straightforward, in my opinion. You know, I mean, I need to stop saying that. It's just, it slips out. I just, like, and regardless of how I feel about the ending, it's not going to immediately undo the fact that I enjoyed the game for like 70, 80 hours. It was still a lot of fun to play, even if I did think. And it's not even specifically the ending. It's like after everything going through the Temple of Ancients is pretty fantastic. It's as soon as you finish the Temple of Ancients, from there to the ending is when I was just like checked out. And I was just like, I don't know what's going on or why. And I've read a lot of things that are people's different takes, interpreting certain things and this and that and this and that since the game ended. And like some things are like, yeah, I think that makes sense and that sounds okay, but I still think it should not have had to have been that much of a tangled up mess. Oh well, you know, like when did the remake come out? I swear it feels like it was really quick for Rebirth, but I actually don't know how big the gap is either way. There's one more part. I have no idea how they're gonna wrap everything up in one more part, considering how long this one was and how much story from base FF7 they still need to hit up. But I guess we'll see. I have a take that I don't want to share. I call it the Aerith take. And it has nothing to do with her fate in the game at all. It just has to do with the fact that I can't help but feel like FF7, the remake and Rebirth, unintentionally wrote her to be a psycho. Like, I know they didn't. I know the intention of the creators when they were writing Aerith for these games was not to make her psychotic or unlikable. Like, obviously they weren't gonna do that. Why would they do that? But I look at scenes with her in Remake and Rebirth, and it's not like when I first played the game this stood out to me. It didn't. It was after I beat the game the first time for Remake and I was watching people play it again. There were just so many scenes with Aerith where I was like, ugh. And then the same thing happened in Rebirth, and whatever. Who cares? Who cares? I know I'm wrong, and I know that the theory holds no. It's not even a theory. It's just a weird read that I had off of Aerith from how they handled her in both games. Oh, and I did not like playing as her. She's the only character I didn't like playing as, so I'm actually kind of glad she's dead, so I never have to play as her in the third game. I'm so glad. Okay, moving on. We got 2 more things in this month. On March 20th, I finished Sonic Colors Ultimate. Sonic Colors is one of my favorite Sonic games of all time. It's incredibly fun to play. It's got such great music. I love it. Yeah. The last thing I did in it on Sonic Colors Ultimate was I got all 180 red rings and unlocked Super Sonic, which is super fun to play with. I think if I want to complete the game on Steam, I need to get S ranks in every single stage in the game, which I'm not doing. I've never done that for a Sonic game ever. I've just never had the patience, and I've definitely never had the skill to do it. So I'm totally fine with not achieving that. I still had a blast playing through it. I still wish that they had put in some additional controls for audio so you could hear what Eggman's saying, because he's fucking funny. Like, the very few times he comes up on the intercom to say something and I can make it out, it's funny. I just wish that there were, like, at the very least, subtitles so I knew what he was saying, because it's so echoey and in the background of all the levels. Oh man, very fun though. That's just a really fun game. That's a good time. Always be one of my favorite Sonics. And then after that, I played Katamari Damacy Reroll. First ever Katamari game I played. Finished it on March 24th. Good times. Like, it took me a while to kind of get the controls. Like, they have like the normal control pattern, and they have a simple control pattern. I tried to switch it to simple, and it was still very difficult. So I actually just ended up playing it with the normal, and I got used to the normal controls. It was still a lot harder than I thought it would be to move a ball around and pick stuff up, but I ended up having a lot of fun. I was like, yeah, just how I say right there, and goofy, silly, charming, and above all, it's very fun. Soundtrack was great to listen to. It was just like a really chill game to play, just and have a ball with, and not stress out so much over anything specific. Just relaxing and good. Unfortunately, I can't complete it. I'm missing one achievement, and it's the kind of achievement I would never get, which is the one for picking up every single item in the game. I don't have the patience to do that. Completing the archive or the gallery or whatever it's called. Still, it was fun and I enjoyed it. Katamari Damacy, good times. I don't know if I play another because I know there's plenty of other ones out there, and when I say plenty, I don't know. I know another one got remade. I'm pretty sure another one got another re-release or something. I just don't remember which one it was. Yeah, not a lot in March. Katamari, Sonic, Oban, Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, but I mean, I enjoyed all those things. Oban was my favorite thing that month. My favorite thing in March, Oban Star Racers, and then all the other stuff was cool too. Cool too. I could probably, just like with King Oja last month, I could probably talk about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and really go into depth a lot, but I'd rather not. Not any more than I already have. It was a good time. Really curious as to how they're gonna wrap it up. That's what I'm most looking forward to, which I guess same everybody else is. Anyway, hope that's all for March, and I will see you all next time for April. Until then, everyone, hasta.